Well, it's season 3, and Merle got a great deal renting a seaside mansion named Dragon House. I wonder why it was such a good deal.
Last Thursday, the United States State Department welcomed a trade and water agreement between Jordan and Israel. It will increase Jordanian freshwater access by 50 million cubic feet a year. It will increase Jordanian exports to the West Bank from 160 million to 700 million dollars, and we welcome this for a number of reasons, including the historically close relationship between Jordan and Israel, plus to benefit the people of the West Bank. Now, it looks cloudy. It's getting all cloudy here, so I gotta hurry up because I have a bushel of Canadian economic news to cover. Last Friday, Canada announced it would invest over $22 million in Nova Scotia fishing harbors. I'm betting this is Canadian dollars. The fishing harbors in Nova Scotia will get $22 million of $300 million Canada is spending on repairs, upgrades, and even new small craft harbors. Ooh, that's a nice breeze. I gotta hurry. Breakwater reconstruction and dredging at Wedgeport, plus 5 other communities, will be involved in this. The seafood sector provides 45,000 jobs and $7 billion plus a year, with nearly all of this coming into small ports. Small craft harbors programs will support these with $70 million for repair, maintenance, construction, and dredging. Quote, Canada's blue economy and its future growth depend on the sustainable use and management of our ocean resources. So say we all. Last Friday, Atlantic Canada Opportunities Agency announced about $100,000 to Ocean Sink Data Solutions. And this is significant because this is a cutting-edge technology. They are going to develop remote units to be deployed on ships to provide real-time environmental data. See, apparently, you've already got the ships at sea. And what this does is it puts weather stations on them to report back, probably to satellites, to get a better picture of what's going on. It's kind of like maybe when, they put weather stations on all our cars. And that would be an amazing weather picture. They've done this with space. Instead of having the giant, like Arecibo antenna, now they have very large arrays where they take lots of little antennas and combine them to study the sky. So Andy Fillmore, Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Infrastructure and Communities and Member of Parliament for Halifax, said, quote, Nova Scotia isn't just Canada's ocean playground. I often say it's Canada's ocean workshop. End quote. Sebastian Amton, Managing Director of Ocean Sink Data Solutions, said, quote, we are excited to be building the first truly global distributed network of shipborne weather stations, delivering large volumes of high-quality data in a cost-effective way. End quote. Merle, when this is over, have Kermit clean this screen with a wet wiper. Okay, whatever you use, clean it. We gotta hurry. What he also, quote, continues, our solution provides data models for better weather forecasting, route optimization, situational awareness, and safety. End quote. Last Friday, Canada Economic Development for Quebec Regions announced $2 million for Vest Tech Pro and the Metropolitan Fashion Cluster Organization. Vest Tech Pro will receive about $1.2 million, probably Canadian, for cutting-edge technology and creation of 4 jobs to support Montreal and Quebec's fashion industry. $800,000 will go to Metropolitan Fashion Cluster, which is a non-profit that helps Quebec's fashion industry. Last Thursday, the Canada Economic Development for Quebec Regions said it would provide $1 million. Yeah, we gotta clean this screen. for Hotel Universal de Rivia, Rue de Lube, modernizing its facilities to enhance the quality of its tourism offering and its competitiveness. This will enable the four-star hotel to renovate its lobby, modernize its common areas, probably the pool and cafeteria, restaurants. It will also be able to acquire and install an elevator and digital equipment. The work has already begun and will be completed very shortly. The press release went into like the history of the hotel, its significant part in the Bay St. Lawrence area, and it mentioned the effect of pandemic on tourism, which I'd like to go into more about. I think it's about to rain. Last Friday, Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada announced $4.5 million to the Quebec dairy producers. Fromagerie Medard Saint Gideon will get $2 million to provide to create 2 jobs and increase milk volume by 3/4. Nutrinor Cooperative, which kind of sounds like Southern States here in the Carolinas, will get $400,000 for a filtration system so it can increase production of liquid dairy protein concentrate and help increase the yield of cheese factories it sells milk to. This Nutrinor Cooperative has over 936 members and involved in agri-food, agriculture, hardware stores, and energy. So like I said, it sounds like Southern States. It will increase milk production by half, and within 2 years it will increase milk production by half and create 5 jobs. Fromagerie Boivin will receive $2 million for equipment to increase production, modernize packaging line, optimize cheese production, and provide more space for social distancing by employees. There are 10,000 dairy farms in Canada, approximately, supporting approximately 19,000 jobs in those dairy farms. The farms bring in $7 billion in cash receipts. And in 2020, now this is the pandemic year, the dairy processing sector supported close to 250,000 jobs. Now, last Wednesday, Canada Economic Development for Quebec Regions announced $5 million to the Shawinigan Aluminum Corporation for a $10 million project building a plant to process aluminum scrap, which will create 13 jobs. This will add nearly 20,000 square feet of space, upgrade to new ovens that will use less energy, and add a capacity of 30,000 tons of aluminum a year. It will save 1.5 million cubic meters of natural gas and 3,100 tons of CO2. Last Thursday, Infrastructure Canada announced combined government investments of over $20 million in 3 solar farms called Solar Gardens. That's what the Canadians call them, Solar Gardens. They'll be in the towns of Antigonish, Berwick, and Mahone Bay, with approximately 10 gigawatt hours of clean, unpeak energy for the to provide it to the towns, with enough energy to power 1,000 homes per year. Across Canada, since the beginning of the pandemic, the Canadian government has provided nearly $10 billion to nearly 4,000 infrastructure projects. We've heard about the drastic conditions in the Midwest concerning the fires, and just today I heard about the crash of a small airplane, I believe it was reported on NPR, that killed a former Arizona firefighter, and I believe he was a chief, and his assistant, while they were doing surveying and coordination for air tankers. And we mourn the loss. These people truly sacrificed to save lives. Greater love hath no man than this, that he lay down his life for his friends. And they paid the ultimate sacrifice. Wildfires are becoming a problem everywhere. Last Friday, Transport Canada announced it was shutting down train movement in areas of British Columbia, except for, quote, emergency fire response and maintenance and repair work. Evidently, there's been some issues in British Columbia about fires, and they want to make sure the trains don't throw off sparks and such. That same day, residents were allowed back into Lytton to check on their homes. Last Thursday, Parks Canada announced it has hit 23 wildland firefighters into British Columbia. The Canadian Interagency Forest Fire Center will coordinate the resource sharing for the next 2 weeks. The teams include firefighters, along with logistics and even finance support units. Ooh. I'm not going to try to get a picture of that. I will try to tell you what it is. Okay, that is the YFF Muse 4 helicopter with its really cool camera pod, which probably means I-85 is a mess. So not only is the weather gumming up, so is traffic. Okay, the Canadian firefighter support comes from 12 different Canadian park offices, and Parks Canada reminded readers in this press release that the Canadian Park Service manages a chunk of land the size of Germany. Now, it's not new for them to do this. British Columbia recently sent air tankers to the... Oh, wow. We have got to clean this screen. To a national park. And they've sent wildland firefighters to both Australia and the United States in the past 2 years. So, there's a lot going on. And we all need to be in prayer for the West as they face these drastic wildfire challenges.